How we doing, guys? Give me a minute, just getting set up here. Had to change rooms last minute. Demetrius, Rachel, and who else are we missing?
Jeremy and
Jeremy. All right, guys. We got everybody. I think we're missing a few. Do you guys know? So you said it was Jeremy, I think we're missing. Whose team is he on?
I think he's virtual, so maybe Casey.
Casey. Jeremy on this? You coming? All right, guys. How we doing today? See this thing clear up. I don't know why it's having a hard time focusing right now. That's really weird. Blurry. There we go. We're clear now. Hey guys, today we're going to hop right into things. We're going to talk about the training release checklist. Okay, so we're going to go over the things that you guys are going to want to know for your release call. We don't like to use the word release anymore. Now we like to use the word milestone, because when we say release, people think that they're done learning, and we're definitely nowhere near done learning. We still have a lot to get down. We have a lot to work on. Those of you guys that are in this room will be able to. Are going to have to continue to hone in your skills and practice with your managers. And some of you might not be getting released. Some of you might not be hitting your first milestone Monday. Some of you will. To hit your first milestone, and to pass your release call, there's some things that you want to know. There's some things that you want to have a accomplished too. Like you want to at least have 2 sales. 2 sales by yourself. Your manager did nothing. He just watched you, and you did 2 full sales front to back with no help from the manager. So that's something that we would like to see. That's something that we usually, I know on my team and every team, we require you to have at least 2 sales. Sometimes it might take you a 3rd week of training to achieve this. So if you haven't had that in these first 2 weeks, don't fear, don't get worried or anything like that. It's all part of the process, and it's impossible to get everything in about this business in a 2-week period. So what we're going to go over today is things that you're going to need to know for your phone call that you get. You have a release call, it's called. That will be with another manager like myself or Giovanni or Casey. Probably for you guys, it will be Gio. At least for, I don't know why I'm forgetting Shayla's name right now, but at least for Shayla, it would be Giovanni doing her release call. For you guys, it might be Joshua Urinko doing your release call. It just depends on who's available. But this release call is about a 15, 20, 30-minute call. And they're going to go over some things in there and kind of test what you know so we can make sure that you're prepared and self-sufficient enough to be on your own. If you need to be held another week, they're going to hold you another week. We're never going to release you to be on your own until you're prepared. Wow, this gum and this coffee is the worst combination I've ever tasted in my entire life. Other than that, we'll go over something called a training checklist, which is just basically going to get you guys where you should be in terms of what you know and what you don't know already. I'll be just further educating and adding more items to your guys' tool belt today on that note. Does that sound good? Everybody with me virtually? You guys got notes? Ready to roll? Nice to see you guys again. Rachel, Demetrius, always a pleasure. Now, in terms of the training checklist, okay, I will pull up a page for us actually now that I'm on my own laptop and not Tommy's for once. I can share my screen, pull my training checklist up straight from my email. Yeah, usually I'm in that back room, but I ran back there after getting out of an interview, and Mason was in there pitching, so I was like, okay. If I share my screen, you won't be able to see me though, huh? Okay, so we won't share my screen. I'll just go through the checklist with you on the whiteboard. I'll get us out of here early today too, guys. Nice early Friday release. Go get some time to take a break. So guys, one of the things that we want to get down here is what's called the most important part of the close. Can anyone take a guess at what vocabulary word I'm thinking of here that is the most important part of the close? No one? No one has a guess? What do you guys think? What's the most important part of the close or the sales that you guys have seen? Demetrius, I think you're pretty good every time I call out on you. What do you think the most important part of the close is?
Getting them to commit.
Getting them to commit? Hell yeah, absolutely. What about you, Rachel? What do you think?
I think the thing I got from Gio yesterday is just maintaining control.
Yeah. Those are all important. What about when it comes to the close, when you're actually closing, you're coming to the end? I'll give you the answer. The most important part of the close is assuming the sale.
Oh, wow. I knew that.
Yeah, see, I knew you guys knew. Assuming the sale. Can you guys see this whiteboard okay? Or should I close these blinds in the background?
Yeah, it's like a glare.
Sounds good. Let me put these all the way in the corner for everyone that's wearing a three-piece suit. Damn near impossible. It's still there though. All right, I'll reach over. I'll make the reach. Okay. Better? Yeah, okay. I untucked myself, closing the blinds. So most important part of the close, assuming the sale. How do you guys think that we assume the sale? In what ways can we assume the sale? What do you guys think are some ways that we can assume the sale? What part of our script is assuming the sale?
Is it when we're asking them which option fits the needs for you and your family the most?
Yes, that's absolutely right. Which option is going to fit your family's needs the best? I know Casey and some other managers will say it a little bit differently. You guys have that more assumptive script down. I think it's a little bit closer to like, the expert simulator has recommended this, this, and this. This is going to take care of your funeral. It's going to take care of your loss of income for 5 years. Knowing that this is going to take care of your family for many years to come and forever after, which option do you think is the best for your family? Or sometimes you guys do just one option usually, and then you'll start to reduce down and ask them if it's comfortable. So same deal, yada, yada, yada. It's this much a month. Your family's protection is this much. That's comfortable for you, right? Or you guys tell me. I mean, you're the one that are. You guys are the ones that are watching your managers. Close the sales. Like, what does Casey say when he shows an option? Can you guys remember?
Me and Demetrius have Drew. Or Demetrius,
Drew, okay.
You shadow Tommy too. I know that.
Okay. What does Drew say when he does that? When he puts an option down after, like right before he makes him pick one, what does he say?
Yeah, I mean, just assuming like which one would be the most important for you to have covered, I guess.
He says that when he writes down the options?
You're talking about like the four main concerns?
No, I'm talking about when he writes down like an option for them to choose, like the benefit. Like when he puts down like it's going to be this much a month. Here's what the expert simulator recommended. Like right before they would choose an option or choose their coverage that he recommended.
Yeah. I think he asks like, is this comfortable for you? Do you want to adjust it up or down?
Right. So, okay. Yeah. So that would be your guys' version of assuming the sale. It's going to be this much a month. It's going to provide this amount of protection. All that, Joe, is going to be $130 a month, $30 a week. Now, is that comfortable for you? Or would you like to lower down to something that's more, or would you like to lower down? All right, that's assuming they're going to buy. That's assuming the sale. The other thing that's really beneficial to know is the art of the close. What's the most, the art of the close is the takeaway. It's almost equally as important. The takeaway. Your guys' takeaway is almost the same thing that we were just talking about. The expert simulator is recommending this much for your funeral. It will always be taken care of. Your freedom of choice certificate for $30,000. We got your income taken care of. If Joe were to die, his paycheck's coming into the house for 5 years, $1,000 a week. We got the mortgage covered. All this is taken care of, Joe. Now, as much as your family needs this, as much as we want to get you guys caught up with all the other members, we just got to see if you can even qualify. So you guys have them, they'll pick an option first. Drew will recommend what they need. He'll tell them what the expert simulator recommended. They'll say, yes, that sounds great. And then he'll say, as much as we want to actually get you this, as excited as all the members are about getting in on this, the only problem is they're a little bit hard to qualify for, so we got to see if you can even qualify first. So that's the takeaway. You're taking it away from them. On our script, Shayla, it's almost the same exact idea. Takeaway is the same thing. We tell them at the end of the needs analysis, we ask them which one they care about the most to be taken care of for their family. They choose why, or they choose which one. Then we have them ask. We ask them, why do they choose that? Why did you choose funeral? Why did you choose loss of income? Well, because the family, make them sell themselves, make them think about it. Well, as much as you need this, as much as your family needs this, much as I'd love to get you caught up with all the other members during your enrollment period, Shayla, I would just have to see if you can even qualify. So that's called the takeaway, and they consider that the art of the close. The art of the close. Gio taught me that the other day. I was like, the art of the close. I'm like, I don't even know what the art of the close is. But is there any questions on that, guys, so far? Okay. We also have, guys, control. How to establish control and why it's important, why it's necessary. Can you guys give me some examples of establishing control? Pretty much things that I went over with you when I first met you guys on Wednesday.
Are you talking about throughout the whole script or just the closing?
Anything.
If you're virtual, when you first get on and saying like, hey, you can hear me, right? And tell them to go grab a pen and a piece of paper.
Yep.
To take some notes.
Yep. Exactly.
Taking your shoes off in the house.
Right. Yep.
Getting at that table.
That's right. Telling them where to sit.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys sit to the right of me. What else in the house? Glass of water.
Yeah. Would asking to go to the bathroom beforehand be one or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen that.
Tell you what, can I use your restroom? I got the bladder of a 2-year-old. Haven't had a second to stop. And then you kind of ask them where it's at, like you're a little bit silly. Like, is it down here, down this hallway? And then they start to get up and they'll be like, yeah, it's down. Let me show. Then they'll come in. They'll turn the light on, turn the fan on. They'll give you some baby powder on your butt cheeks. No, I'm kidding. But they'll come and kind of pamper you into the bathroom a little bit. They'll walk you over there. Control, shoes off, get to table, glass of water. What are some other ways on the virtual how we can establish control?
Confirming that both people are there. Like if it's a couple, making sure that they're both there and present and listening.
Yeah. Confirming they are listening. That's good. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys see me okay? Real quick, go ahead and get to a table. Going to be going over a lot of important information. Grab a pen and paper. Asking them to turn things down. Sorry, Joe, it's a little bit hard to hear you over that radio. Can you turn the TV down a little bit? Can you turn the radio down? turn it off pretty much. Can you turn off the TV real quick? I'm going to be going over a lot of important information.
I've seen it where like the wife or the husband will be completely out of the camera, so whoever I'm watching will ask them to come into the view of the camera,
Yeah,
making sure that everybody's engaged.
exactly. That's kind of like what Rachel was just getting at. Confirming they're listening, confirming they're engaged. Spot on. Spot on. In person, introducing yourself with a nice firm handshake, looking them in the eyes. That's controlling. Stare right in their eyes. Show them you mean business. In terms of credibility, this isn't something that you're going to be tested on, but credibility is just as important. You want to have a lanyard. You guys have all signed up for our union membership, and you'll be getting a Office Professionals Union badge if you don't already have one. Mine's not in my room right now, but you want to get a clear little card holder and get a lanyard, and you want to have that on your neck or pinned to your suit if it's one of the retractable ones. Grant Cardone, in his book Sell or Be Sold, always talks about credibility. Credibility is everything. Have documents to back up your reasons, to back up your presentation. I've got funeral price documents in my folder. I've got all kinds of statistics and documents in my folder to back up what I pitch. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, in 2020, the average funeral was 12 to 15,000, right? Credibility is just as huge. Have a nice shirt tucked in, look sharp, shave your beard. If you have a beard, organize it, like shave the scruff. Shave the scruff. Make sure you look clean cut. If you're in person, make sure you smell good. You took a shower this morning. They want to see someone that's got like some swagger and confidence in what they can do. That's someone that they want to trust. That's someone they want to talk to. That's someone that they can give $100 a month to for the rest of their life. Other than, guys, the control, how to handle singles and seniors. But before we leave control, I almost forgot. Can you guys give me a few reasons why control is so important? Why is control so important? Why?
It shows that you're the professional. That you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What do you guys think? Just take a guess. If you think about it, we're telling them to do things. That's going to need some control. We're telling them to go grab their policy. We're telling them what to do with their finances. We're telling them what they need and what they should pay for their finances, for their life insurance. They are giving us their social, their bank account. They're giving us all kind of stuff. Without control, we wouldn't even be able to get this kind of stuff. I'm not going to go get my policy. What's this all about? How much longer is this? Can we just skip this? This collar is like not flopped up or nothing, right?
No.
Okay. Tripping. So confirming, control is like everything, guys. Go grab the check. Boom, they go get the check. Grab your license, grab your ID. What's your social? What's your bank? When do you want this coming out? You wouldn't be able to do any of these things without control. They wouldn't listen to you without control. Everything that you're saying to them is going to be perceived with a different notion without control. Almost like you're just talking. So control is going to establish, and it's also going to boost the credibility. And through boosting credibility, you're going to be able to be someone that they actually believe and trust and listen to. Huge, huge difference when you go and do a sit without it and when you go and do a sit with it. You'll get all kind of questions when you don't have it. We don't need that. Why do we need that discount card? No, we're good. We don't need a discount card. No, we're not going to go get the policy. That's not necessary today, Vince. We're not going to go grab the policy. No, we don't want any of the additional benefits. We don't need that, right? You go in there, same people, they get seen a year later by someone that has control, and they're, wow, I didn't know that discount card was so valuable. Oh, yeah, we'll go grab our policy. Yeah, we'll listen to you. Yeah, we'll pick option A. Yeah, we'll go get our checkbook. That's why I like this eraser. It gets it done. Faith trying to steal it. Everyone's always trying to steal my products. Singles and seniors. Singles and seniors. Singles and seniors. How would we probably, what do you think our primary focus would be for a single person who's not married and has no kids? What do you think we're going to focus on in our pitch? You're going to want to focus on cash value. Cash value. Locking in their age and their health today. It's an investment. This is an investment. This isn't another bill. This is an investment. You're not paying me $100 a month for a service. This isn't car insurance. This isn't a car bill, a cell phone bill. This is an investment. Your $100 today is going to save you $30,000 down the line by grabbing it and locking in your age and your health today. Now, these aren't the conversations I have with them, but it's what I'm professionally conveying to them throughout the presentation. You're very young, Joe. Your price is only going to be this much. I got the rate book in my hand. I got the rate book on my screen. I'll just, obviously throughout term and whole, it's where it really happens. You're drawing the term and whole life. Term, the price keeps going up, up, and up because now you're older. Then they cut us off, Mary. They're treating us like we're a bad investment. They cut us off at 65. That's when people are usually retiring and they're actually thinking about life insurance. But the older you get, the more expensive it is. Now with the whole life, you might be paying a little bit more every month, but you're paying for a guarantee. You're locking in your age and your health. You do the whole life drawing just like you usually would, and you just add a couple extra sentences in there. Obviously, Joe, any questions on whole life? Okay. The main idea, though, Joe, the main idea the union wants to get across is you got this policy way back when, and you locked in your age and your health. Because the younger you are, the cheaper it is. And if you lock in your health now, you could have cancer, be the sickest guy alive a year later, pass away. They can never, ever raise this price on you. And they can never, ever take this death benefit away from paying out to your family. And then you already go over cash value in the whole life drawing, so that just sells itself. So those are things you want to focus on for single people. Cash value, paid up options, the price now compared to the price later. The paid up options are greater when you get it when you're younger. The cash value accumulates to a greater number when you get it when you're younger. I don't even know if you can qualify, Joe. I just got to ask you a few questions. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, Joe, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't qualify. I don't know what a year from now looks like. I don't know what 3 years from now looks like by the time we're back out here. But you're never going to be younger, healthier, and more affordable than you are today. So I'm going to write you down some options that the needs analysis recommended, the expert simulator recommended. Here's a good way to assume the sale. I'm going to write you down a couple options because they're never going to show you something that you need. The union doesn't ever want to show you something you need, but you can't afford. Already assuming they need it and they're going to get it. Make sense, guys? Yeah? Shayla, you're the only person in there. You got to give me the verbal.
Yep.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Seniors. My two virtual people are always muted. I'm just messing with you guys. Seniors. One word and one word only. Freedom of choice certificate. It's as simple as it gets for the seniors. What the expert simulator is recommending today is to at least lock in your funeral in the amount of a $30,000 whole life policy. That's going to be the value of your freedom of choice certificate, Mary. Your funeral's always going to be taken care of. All you got to do, hand it over. Funeral director will call it, all that good stuff. You focus and you sauce up the freedom of choice more than anything else. Ask them about if they've ever dealt with that before. They're seniors. They've dealt with that before. In the will, your mom and dad still, executor. Have you ever been an executor before? Oh, you did? Your mom passed away? Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. You already found out in rapport that their mom passed away because you asked them how their parents are. These are reasons why we asked that in rapport. I know you said your mom and dad passed away. Were you, did they have anything in place to take care of their funeral? How'd that go? Oh, that's great. They had some life insurance. That's great. Did it pay out right away? No. Well, good thing with us, with the union, you have the 3 to 5 day payout, guaranteed, lump sum, tax free. It's going to be available right away, Grandpa Joe. Freedom of choice with seniors. You want to focus on the funeral just being guaranteed to be taken care of with ease, peace of mind. Everyone likes things to be easy. Everyone likes a guarantee. The freedom of choice, especially seniors, they love guarantees. That's why you watch any senior commercial that are on in the middle of the night, all they talk about is guarantees and you're getting your money back. That's all they sell them on is your money's going to go far here. You're going to get this in return. All seniors do is sit around and they wonder, what am I going to do with my money? Guys know how to handle an uninsurable client? If I asked you guys today how you would handle an uninsurable client, what would you do? If you got to the end of the questions and they couldn't qualify, what would you do, Demetrius?
I guess I have to break it down to them. I don't know specifically what I would say because I wouldn't honestly even know.
Good. So, okay. That's why we do this.
To be honest.
We had one before because he had cancer.
Uh-huh.
Would you just still make sure to emphasize the for no cost or no?
Because they could still take that. I mean, at the very least, but I wouldn't even know what to say about the not being even insured.
So you want to focus on referrals off of the no cost first and foremost. That's a guarantee. That's always what you want to focus on. The other thing you want to focus on, guys, is doubling up the coverage on the healthy spouse. Double up the coverage on the healthy spouse.
So what if they're not married but they have kids?
Then you would put a crap ton of coverage on one of the kids. Put a $100,000 policy on one of the kids.
Okay.
Typically, to about, I'll show you on the rate book. Have any of you virtual guys or gals ever looked at the rate book yet?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Okay. Here's the rate book right here. So they tell you how to calculate face amount in the beginning, because there's some policies on here where they don't give you the monthly prices exactly, but they'll give you a decimal for that age that you'll multiply to find out the monthly price. All of our stuff's in here. All the definitions are in the beginning for each policy, what it does. Right, so if you take a look at the $100,000 product, they actually do give you some monthly amounts. They give you 50,000 executive life. They give you 40,000 preferred life. They give you 30,000 whole life regular. They show you all the prices for each age they offer it. But let's hop down to select life, because this is going to be what you want to do when you double up on a healthy spouse. So you guys can see this. Where did this go? Where did this rate book just go? Crazy. Okay, so here we are again. So let's say one of their kids is in their 20s or 30s. There's no husband around, or the husband's uninsurable, and then maybe maybe the husband's uninsurable and he has no wife. Well, let's double up on your kid then. I'll make an appointment to come back, or I'll just call the kid up right there, get him on Zoom, and explain to him what we're about to do. They show you right here, values at age 65 for a male and a female. CV stands for cash value. RPU stands for reduced paid up option. So at 65, if you grabbed this $100,000 policy when you were 30, it would cost you $82 a month, and you would have $34,000 in your cash value by the time you were 65. So that's what you would take out of your cash value to pay for mom's funeral. Or let's say they're in their 50s, you still can get mom or dad a $100,000 policy. Any money they would have spent on both of their policies today, you put them all together for one. You get Joe a $100,000 policy at 48 for 204. He'll have 24 grand in his cash value to bury Mary, or Mary will have 21 grand in her cash value to bury Joe. If that's not enough, do a $150,000 policy. That's not on here, but you can find out what it would be at the very end. There's a cash value page in here. Cash values per thousand. Per thousand of insurance is what that's talking about. So let's say Mary says, that's not enough. I need more than 21 grand. All right, well, we'll go to a 50-year-old over here. Wish I had my Surface Pen at this point. And it will show you what the values will be. The 5th year, the 10th year, the 20th year, after getting the policy, and then age 65 and age 70. So let's say Mary is 50 and she wants to see what her cash value would be for a $150,000 policy at 65, or maybe she wants to see at 70 when she finally dies, or when they finally might be close to passing away. Even if she's 60 years old, you can look at the 20th year. That number is 44466. So let's say Mary's 60, and we want to see what her cash value is going to be when she's 80, because the rate book only showed us 65. So you can do 444 times the death benefit per thousand, which is just 100, right? Because we're talking about a $100,000 policy. So you take that decimal, you times it by the death benefit per thousand, and boom, that's what her cash value would be. Maybe you just want to stick with your first option of a $100,000 policy, but you just want to see what it's going to be a little bit later than 65. Maybe you want to see what it's going to be at 70. Take this number in the 70-year-old bracket over here for a 50-year-old. What does that say? 296.62 times 100. Boom, 30K. That's enough for a funeral. And she's 70. Joe and Mary probably have 10 more years left together, maybe even 20. That cash value is going to be even greater at that point. I'm not saying you pull out this rate book and start confusing them with all these numbers, like I'm probably doing to most of you guys right now. What I'm saying is, you know these numbers, and you write down these numbers, and this is going to be your pitch. Unfortunately, Joe, with the medical record, you know, with everything going on with your health, I know you said you had a heart attack last year, and you know you beat cancer a couple years back. You're a hell of a fighter, Joe. And, you know, if it was up to me, I don't think you're going anywhere. I'd approve you if I could. But the thing is, Joe, they may decline you, and if they don't decline you, they're going to give you a rating on top of your policy. They're going to give you a rating on top of the premium I show you today. That would be it'd be such a big rating, it really wouldn't even be worth paying. So what we do for people in your situation, it's how you always transition when you want to recommend something new. Whether you're going down to $1 a day program or you're going to doubling up on the healthy spouse. What we do for people in this situation, Joe, so that they can still have the funeral taken care of, is we double up on the healthy spouse. So I'm going to write you down a new option to double up the coverage for Mary. It's going to be $100,000 a whole life. Right? It's going to be $100,000 a whole life, $200,000 accidental. It's going to be $210 a month. But keep in mind, you won't have to pay for anyone but yourself. This is the only bill for your life insurance your family pays now. You don't have to pay for Mary. You guys will put your money together. You can grab option A, $100,000 a whole life. And remember how we talked about that cash value, Rachel? Remember how we talked about that cash value, Shayla? Right. So at 65, your cash value is actually going to be $33,000 that you have in that bucket to take money from. And that's a guaranteed number. It's all math, Shayla. So they already planned it all out. It's all math. You're guaranteed you're going to have 33 grand inside of this policy by the time you're 65. So by the time you're 80, and you guys might be getting closer to that unfortunate time where you pass away, when Joe dies, Mary, you could pull this 33 grand and pull it out of there to pay for his funeral. And you'll still have cash in there left too, because they'll be 80. No, this is just 65.
And, okay, so if they pull it out of their cash value, let's say, because Mary won't be able to afford anything to pay it back, that just takes out of her whole life policy? Okay.
Exactly. You pull out 100 grand, you pull out 33,000 out of 100 grand. What do you think the company's going to pay Mary when she dies now?
57.
Exactly, Shayla. 67,000. It's a win-win for both. Make sense, guys? Following me?
Yep.
Yes? Any questions on how to double up on a healthy spouse? You're not going to get it every time. It might not sound perfect when you first try it. It's going to take you some reps until you make it sound nice and short and sweet. The biggest thing is confidence and control. This is what we're going to do. Here's what we do for people in your situation. Well, what do you think I'd be able to get covered somewhere else? Honestly, Joe, if our company is not going to be willing to cover you, no other company will as well. You know, it's pretty universal. So this would be what we can do is boom. Or when they turn 60, they enter the senior life bracket, and you can make a date to come back if they're 58, and you can tell them, hey, Mary, let's go ahead and get your foot in the door today. Let's get your health and age locked in. Let's get your whole life taken care of. Joe, we're going to trial yours, which just means instead of approving you and charging you right away for it, they won't charge you, and they'll actually underwrite you first, which takes about 6 to 8 weeks. And I'll be able to come back with an answer if they're going to approve you or not. If not, Mary, if not, Joe, we'll come back when he turns 60. And as long as he hasn't had any cancer or heart attacks in the last 2 years, at 60 years old, we'll be able to get him up to 30,000 of senior life. He'll be able to qualify then. Oh, that sounds fine. Yeah, let's get Mary enrolled now. Boom. There's got to be a method to the madness. There's got to be a reason. You got to tell them what everything's going to do, why you're doing it. They need to have certainty. Certainty, certainty, certainty. Referrals, guys. Referrals. Do we know what the 5 different types of referrals are?
Beneficiary.
Discount card, beneficiary, contingent bennies, Drew's team, emergency contacts, child safety kit, insurance referrals at the very end by using VIBs, insurance referrals straight up. We got one more. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one is called Ketchup Referrals, the Ketchup program. I tell them, look, Joe, you're in the Carpenters Local 250, right? Okay. For some reason, Joe, everyone in your Local 250 has been filling out the cards just like you, and they've been seen. About 90% of the people in your union have been seen and gotten their benefits. They were telling us back at the union, though, roughly 10% of your union has filled out these cards and hasn't been seen yet. We weren't sure if it was the mailing getting messed up, or they were saying something about the pandemic. Yeah, the mailing's getting messed up with the pandemic right now. The copying, the scanning of the cards was getting there. Some of them are getting lost in the scanner. We don't know why this is happening, but what we do know is what we're doing to combat this. You know, who these people are, I'm not sure. But what they have us doing to combat this is every guy from the local 250 that we sit down with, they actually have us collecting as many names as you can give us of guys in your union so we can cross-check the system. And if they've been seen, we'll actually take them out of the list. If they haven't been seen, we'll actually prioritize them and take them to the top of the list. Easiest way to do this, Joe, it's just like our child safety kit program. Just grab your phone and go through A's to Z's and just give us anybody from your union that we can. The union needs your help. Give them the control back. We need you, Joe. We need you now, Joe. You guys know the importance of number 8 on the scheduling tips from the agent playbook. The agent playbook is very valuable. All the guys and girls on my team have it. Sheila, I actually don't think, since I didn't do your third, I wouldn't have sent you the new agent packet. I hope I sent you the new agent packet, but there's a agent playbook in there, and it's really cool. It has a lot of tips in there for you. The agent playbook says number 8 on scheduling, rule number 8 of the scheduling tips for phone, always book on the first call. Always book the first call, the first time. Odds of you getting on the phone with them again and getting them booked are pretty slim. So you got to treat it like it's your last. Or the next guy will do it and he'll get it done for you. And he'll get the ALP. Guys will have a strong phone presentation. Guys want to know how to set with the wife. Control starts over the phone. Control starts over the phone. Loud voice, always leading the conversation. Don't let any dead space come out. Hey, Joe, how you doing today? Spend percent American income, blah, 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 blah. Got to deliver the benefits, explain them, answer any questions that you and the wife may have. I'm using my voice inflections all over the place. I'm talking loud, proud, confident. Go ahead and grab me a pen and piece of paper. I'm going to have you write down some important information. I'm not saying, would you please? Can you please? I'm not saying thank you. I'm not saying thank you. Oh, thanks, Joe. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. I'll see you then. Thanks. Why are we thanking him? Control starts over the phone. Don't be quiet and talking like this the entire phone call. It's just my job to deliver the benefits, explain the benefits, answer any questions you and the wife may have while we're in the area. I just got to find a good time. Are you and the wife still working the day shift? They're going to be like, this isn't important. My husband's not home right now, Vince. Can I take a message? No problem, Mary. I can just go ahead and verify this information with you real quick. You and him actually filled out this 3x5 yellow card and turned it into us. I just got to verify the information you guys wrote down. Take her, book with her the same way. Did you ever make it to any, do you know if Joe ever made it to any of the meetings where they talked about the benefit program? Okay, no problem. You guys would have got a letter about this in the mail. Basically, I'll just refresh your memory. They set you up with 4 no-cost benefits, right? One of which is that insurance policy. It's just my job to deliver it. What time do you and Joe usually get home? Oh, I'm not sure. You'd have to wait till he gets home, Vince. I'm not sure of his work schedule. Yeah, no problem. In one ear, out the other. No problem. What time do you guys typically get home together, though? Typically. I'm not sure. It changes all the time. Yeah, I totally understand it. Working man like him, he's probably busting his butt. I give him all the credit in the world. Do you work? Throw him off with questions. Do you work? It's called leading the conversation. Do you work? Oh, you're a teacher. That's amazing. How long have you been doing that for? Now she's like, oh, this person's not too bad. I'm more open to him now. Oh, how long have you been that for? That's great. Awesome. Okay. Tell you what, what time do you don't work? You're a teacher. I mean, you're a teacher. You get home around 3. What time does Joe typically get home again? I don't know, 5. Sometimes it can be as late as 7. Okay, no problem. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and set you guys down for any time between 5 and 7, and I'm gonna give you a homework assignment, Mary. When's the last time you got one of those? You're usually giving them because you're a teacher, right? Yeah. The homework assignment is just to make sure when Joe gets home tonight to tell him about our appointment that we set and the reason why we're seeing you. And then if that doesn't work for you and Joe, give me a call back. Leave me a voicemail at the better time if I don't answer. If it does work and I don't hear from you guys, I'll just see you tomorrow between 5 and 7. I'll just assume that works. Okay, that sounds good. Now, if you do that without control, if you do that when you're talking all soft, you might get oh no, I'll just call you back. Can I just call you back? They're going to play with your emotions. You're going to feel bad. They're going to convince you that they're going to call you back. And for the sake of that client actually getting their benefits, I promise you, it might be a little bit abrasive, but you have to push because no one's going to get to them again. If you don't get to them there, State Farm's not going to find them either. Like we were talking about before. Drake from State Farm isn't going to get them. These are our niche market. These are our leads. We're the only ones working with them. These working men and women need you to book them the first time. They just don't understand. They just don't understand. They don't know what's good for them, to be honest, because they don't understand what's in this package. They don't understand the education you're going to bring them, whether they buy anything or not. So always, always, always book on the first time. You guys have any questions on that?
Nope.
They're also going to ask you in your release call, we'll go over the release call in a second. I don't want to confuse you guys. Okay. Guys, want to make sure that you have EAP on your computer as well. Got to have EAP downloaded. Especially if you're going to be making sales without your manager, like you need to get released. How are you going to make a sale without your manager if you don't have your own laptop? Please don't no-show somebody. Please do not no-show somebody. Never, ever no-call, no-show anybody. If you get a PR complaint because some union member took 2 hours or an hour out of his day to wait around for you, and you weren't able to be organized enough to give them a phone call, step out of your sit, give them a phone call. Step out of the sit, give them a holler. I would recommend doing this before term and whole life or after they pick an option and you solidified. That's probably the only 2 times I would do it, before term and whole life and after the options are picked. AKA, don't do it after term and whole or in the needs. That's the last place you want to stop the momentum and take a phone call. You're going to lose the sale. Call them within your time frame and let them know you're running late. They should have no problem with that when you told them how busy you were on the phone. If anything, it makes you look even more busy, and they like that. Still with one of our last members right now. He had a lot of questions. Wanted to give you a courtesy call ahead of time. Didn't want you to think I would ever no call, no show you, Joe. I'm going to be there closer to 4 o'clock, okay? Does that sound good? Great. Wife's still going to be there? Great. See you then. You get 3 complaints from the union, you're going to face the possibility of losing union leads. They're going to take those away. Those are a privilege, and we cannot take them for granted and get PR complaints. I don't care if someone's cussing you out over the phone. You smile back, let it slip past you, take emotions out of the deal, and get them off the phone and satisfy what they need. I never got a benefits package last time. This guy was supposed to give it to me. Oh, I got to sit down with you to give you another one. No, we don't want to sit down with anybody. Just send us our benefits package. You know what? You guys are really pissing us off. No, I completely understand, Joe. I apologize. Do you remember what their name was? Yeah, we have zero tolerance for that behavior here. I can go ahead and, if you remember what their name is, I can go ahead and contact them, and I'll make sure they send you out that benefits package. Does that sound good, sir? Thank you. Great. Talk to you later. If you don't get the sale, don't sit there and start asking them 10 times, in a row, why don't you want to do it? Do you not care about your family? Do you not care about what your family? Don't get ignorant. You know what I mean? Just pack your stuff up, walk out of there with your tail between your legs, and come back to fight a better day, another day. Get yourself trained up on where you went wrong. Don't go burning bridges because you're upset and you're exhausted and frustrated. You have to control your emotions with the union members. Will kids child safe? We could give a damn. They have zero ties to our PR team. The unions, though, you mess one of those up, and that guy cancels the contract with our PR team, and you lose our PR team 7,000 cards, you're messing with that PR benefits salary by doing that. They get paid on the cards and the contracts that they produce. You're going to be in a situation if you do a massive PR mistake. Make sure you're calling referrals right away. Rule referrals out of the house. I'm sure somebody already went over that with you. The field underwriting manual. The field underwriting manual is something that you can download from the EAP. It's built into EAP. It's in the top corner. It says like options or help, one of those 2 tabs. It says right there, underwriting field manual. Familiarize yourself with the underwriting field manual. It's going to tell you who can be qualified, who can't. It's going to tell you what you need to do if you try to qualify someone that has diabetes. What questionnaire that you need to have filled out. What to keep in mind. For example, it will tell you for high blood pressure, best case applicants are diagnosed after age 50 and have blood pressure well under control. Those applicants may qualify standard with no rating. Then it will say in the field underwriting manual, complicating factors are overweight, smoking, asthma. If Joe has all 3 of those, I'm probably going to at least tell him in my rated risk when I wrap up and leave the home, I'm probably going to tell him to expect a $10 to $15 rating because the manual said that those are some complicating factors that may result in the rating. Or it will tell you whether the child's something or not. So familiarize yourself with the underwriting field manual. Now, that's kind of everything I want you guys to know on the checklist to be alone, to be out on your own. You want to know how to fill out an application. You want to familiarize yourself with EAP. Collecting rolling referrals. Most important part of the closing, assuming the sale. Have your closes down. Make sure you know your closes. How to pitch a single, how to pitch a senior. 5 different types of referrals, how to roll those referrals out of the house. Know your agent playbook. Hugh Bell's 5 Things for Enthusiasm is on here. We already went over that the first time I saw you. You need 2 sales, 100%, and you want to shoot for at least 6 presentations during training, at least. Know how to access your field underwriting manual, know how to access anything, really. Field underwriting manual is basically what I'm getting at there. Have an ID badge or a lanyard. Policy mods and bulletins. This is a good one. Policy mods and bulletins. Anyone know the difference between a mod and a bulletin? How about you guys on the virtual? Yes? No?
I couldn't. You said what?
Do you guys know the difference between a mod and a bulletin?
A mod and a bulletin?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. All good. Now you do. So a bulletin is something that happens before the underwriting is finished. Something that you didn't complete on the application. Something that you did not provide to the underwriters. You're going to get a policy underwriting bulletin. Here are plenty of examples of those. Here's one for my guy Marvin. Elton Swazo. Have applicant call underwriting to provide needed info. It goes incomplete on the 22nd. Need driver's license number and alcohol drug arrest questionnaire. Pretty much what that's saying is this guy had a DUI and he didn't tell Marvin about it. But I can tell you right now, Marvin has this happen to himself pretty frequently because he asks the medical questions like he's the nicest dude on planet Earth. You guys don't have any DUIs, right? Do we smoke? No. It needs to be. You guys have had any DUIs in the past 5 years? No DUIs at all? Any street drugs not prescribed by a doctor? Tobacco, do you guys use any tobacco? Any nicotine vapes? Any form of nicotine at all? So the better you do writing up the application, the less bulletins you're going to have. And these are a headache. You're busy enough. You're running around trying to get future business on, and your past business is holding you back. If you don't get a bulletin done within the incomplete date, because each of those bulletins has an incomplete date, you're going to get the policy. The policy is going to go incomplete. The client is going to get a letter saying they cannot continue the coverage because they have not received the necessary information. They're going to get refunded their money, and the company is going to take the money back from you that they paid you in advance because the policy just went incomplete. That's called a chargeback. If a client cancels within 4 months of getting the policy, you will get charged back on that advance. Now, they're not just going to rip it out of your bank account like a bunch of ruthless bank robbers. They're just going to take it out of your next paycheck. So if something falls off and you were paid $400 on it, set that money aside. No harm, no foul. The only other way we can lose business besides an actual cancellation within, obviously if they cancel after 4 months, you don't get a charge back. But if they cancel under 4 months, you will get a charge back. They can go incomplete and you'll get a charge back because bulletins are before underwriting's done. So that's still, how long is underwriting? 6 to 8 weeks. We're still in the first couple of weeks here or in the first couple months of the policy, the underwriting is not even done, it's going to go incomplete, you're going to get charged back. Now, there's many ways around this. You can request through your manager an extension on the incomplete date. If you need more time, tell them that you're working on it. Some of these things are simple. Need a new oral specimen. Have applicant call to schedule an exam. Need prescription drug history letter. Again, somebody did not tell us they took prescription drugs in the past. You take any prescriptions? No. The real question is on the app, it says, have you taken any prescriptions in the past 5 years? You don't put them all on there. Now you got a bulletin. I can't tell you how frustrating it is to call this client and you didn't tell them to save your number. So now they're just not even answering. They think you're another telemarketer every day. You're sitting there freaking out because you got 2 weeks before it goes incomplete and they're not answering. You might have to go stop by. This is all part of the business, guys. This is your business. This is your money. These are your deals. This is your business. You have to take full responsibility for executing it right. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. You just got to do the right things for the right people, the right place at the right time, and you got to act like the Department of Insurance is right behind you. Bulletins go incomplete. The mods, they go what's called NTO. Mods are something that happen after the underwriting's done. Like the policy has been approved, but we've rated him an extra $20 a month for diabetes. That's called a policy modification. You have to go call the client and tell them that, and you have to make what's called a COD, which stands for cash on demand, for the extra $20 a month. Hey, Joe, just wanted to give you a call, let you know everything's been approved. Everything's looking great. You did get rated for the diabetes, though, like we talked about. It was only an extra $10 a month. I didn't think it'd be a problem. I just needed to go ahead and get your okay before I sent this COD through. Then you go online to our website, you enter in their name and everything, and you enter in the COD amount, and it charges the client the extra premium the next day. And after that, it will continue to charge them for the increased premium. Sometimes a mod can be, they got their accidental death benefit coverage taken away because they had a history of jumping out of airplanes. You got to go get this form signed now that says, I understand and acknowledge I have no more accidental death benefit on this policy. Mods are a lot more generous. Underwriting bulletins, they'll give you about 2 weeks. Mods, they'll give you 30 days. NTO stands for not taken out. I don't know why they're different, but that's just what it's called. NTO, the policy went NTO. You'll see it on your advance report, say NTO. Not taken out. They never took out the following premium that they needed. They never took out the policy out of underwriting. Not taken out of underwriting. So those are 3 ways you can lose business. Bulletins go incomplete. Mods do what?
Not taking out.
NTO. Incomplete. NTO. They can cancel. They can do what's called a withdrawal, W2H. And then they can lapse. These are the 5 areas you will lose business. Incomplete is due to a bulletin not getting done. NTO is due to a mod not getting done. Cancel, the client is straight up called to cancel within 4 months. If it's after 4 months, you won't get charged back. If it's within 4 months, you will get charged back. W2H is a withdrawal. Withdrawal means they withdrew during the underwriting. They withdrew over the phone for the verification call that they get. It will tell you on the what comes next form that you read when you're done with the client, within the next 7 days, you will get a call from home office to verify the information on the app. If a client's like, you know what, I don't want this anymore, obviously that shows that you did something horribly wrong. There wasn't enough trust or certainty built. They canceled over the verification call. That counts as a withdrawal. They withdrew from the coverage. Those typically you'll see withdrawals. They're like something that happened in the first couple of weeks to a month. Like that's like just a fancy word for the client who's withdrew during the underwriting. Cancel is like, it could be a year later. Who knows? They canceled, right? Lapse. Lapse means their bank payment stopped. Pretty simple. When it lapses, they'll have 30 days where they're still covered if they die. And they have 30 days to get the premium paid. If they don't get it paid by the 30-day grace period, the policy will lapse. You can always put it back on. You can always reinstate it. They just got to pay the back premiums. Biggest thing is letting them know you're here to help them. Letting them know about their layoff and strike waivers that the union gives them. Any questions on the 5 areas that we can lose business, guys? Make sure you're getting this. I'm not up here talking for my own. This is huge. I was never shown this when I started. I just wrote up all kind of deals. I was crushing it, so I didn't get a lot of mods and bulletins because I stayed in the house for hours and hours, and I was extremely anal about my stuff. But I did get a lot of mods. I will tell you I got a lot of mods. Things I didn't know I couldn't put on people. Certain health problems I didn't know I could do or write up. So I started to proactively tell people in the what comes next form. You may expect a rating of $5 to $15 a month. I will call you and let you know. That's called our rated risk presentation. That's one thing that you're going to get tested on too. Rated risk presentation. You guys know that, right? You guys have heard of that. I know Drew has taught you guys that at least, right? Yes, no? Can we get some
I
feedback
don't
there?
believe so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
Okay, the rated risk presentation is on your guys' script. It's on our, I don't know if it's on ours actually, at the very end. I believe it is. It's on the end of our scripts, guys. And thank you. There it closes. Yeah, we got to put on there. Yeah, so I know we'll get you that for sure today. Don't let me forget you. I'll get you that rated risk. Very simple, guys. I know it's on Drew's script for sure. If you guys go to the end of your script right now, you can see it. It's basically something that helps retention. What it does, guys, the rated risk informs them of a rating. All right, Joe. Now, they always have me go through, guys, that there's 3 things that can happen during underwriting. This is when everything's wrapped up, everything's done. You got the summary sheets done, everything's done. Your VIBs, you collected your referrals. You tell them now, Joe, this is also on the what comes next form too. It says over the next 2 to 6 days, this premium will come out. Over the next 7 days, you'll receive a call from home office. And it says over the next 6 to 8 weeks, it says the underwriting process will happen. This is where you stick it in. During the underwriting, guys, there's just 3 things that have me tell you that can happen. The first thing is you could be rated, for this policy. They could rate you for a higher premium because of something that they saw in your medical records that was, drew a red flag. Maybe something that you didn't tell me about on the application. If they rate you over $10 a month, I have to actually call you and get you to sign off, get you to okay that before we even charge you. If the rating is under $10 a month, it actually just gets billed into your premium automatically. But either way, I still call you. It could get declined, where that just means they found something in the records that simply told them they would not be able to cover you guys. And it could be approved standard for the price you see today. As long as everything that you answered on those medical questions was honest and truthful, I don't see any reason why you'd be rated or declined. I just had to tell you. You definitely will be approved for this price that you see today. Now, I might have said those backwards. You probably want to start with approved, then you want to do declined, then you want to do the rating thing. You could be approved standard, you could be declined, or you could be rated, which means they found something in your policy that drew a red flag. Maybe something that you didn't put down on the medical records or on the medical questions. In the event of that, they would actually, if it was over $10 a month, I'd have to call you and let you know and actually get your agreement to go ahead and have that rating take place. If it was under $10 a month, it would just get billed into your premium automatically, and I'd still call you. But based on everything that we went over today, guys, you were honest and truthful, right? Okay, there's no reason why you'd be rated or declined. I just had to tell you those are the 3 things that can happen. Put my number in your phone real quick. That way you always have it. I'll put mine and yours right now, yours and mine. These are things that help retention. Those are things that prevent what we just talked about. Josh is going to want to see Drew and whoever's doing your release call they're going to say, let me hear your rated risk. Let me hear your rated risk. I know you guys are probably not going to get released just yet. So, you got some time to figure this out. Okay, so on this release call, they're going to go over, they're going to make you role play with them over the phone how to get client on Zoom. They're going to role play with you a union or child safety kit phone call. They're going to give you rebuttals. I'm not interested. Can't you just mail it? You're allowed to have your scripts out. You're allowed to have your rebuttal sheet out. What they're going to be looking for, guys, is certainty in your voice. They're going to be looking for your ability to rebuttal and then go back to the phone call, go back to the script. Oh, great question, Joe. Rebuttal. Now, what time do you and the wife get home? Or does that make sense? Okay, perfect. Now I got any time between this and that or this and that. Which one works better? Not just rebuttal and silence. They will fail you for that. You have to be able to rebuttal and close. Rebuttal and go back to the close. They're definitely going to ask you about the rated risk. They're going to ask you the most important part of the close and what it is. What is it, guys? Assuming the sale. They're going to want to hear your solidification after someone picks an option.
That's probably you say like, okay, well, you have my word, then I have yours. Okay.
Mhm. Yep. And they're going to want to go over control on Zoom. And then they're going to go over boot camp, how important your next 3 months are about to be for your career. Simple phone call. Have your scripts out. Do what you've been doing during training. Handle the phone call like you would with any client. And as long as you're handling it somewhat right, you're okay. But if you're stuttering, forgetting, blanking, you're not going to be released. You're going to be held back. Can I erase this, guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, unfortunately, that's all I have time for today. I hope you guys learned a lot. I did not bring my most smiley and energetic self. I got 1,000 things to get done, and someone just joined my Zoom for an interview. So that's everything you guys need to know about being released. That's the things that you want to have down in terms of a training checklist. We went over first the training checklist. We went over last the phone call, the release phone call. If you guys have any questions, you know my number, hit me up or hit your manager up. Love you guys. Let's grind.